Hey everybody, this is Joel Caruso again with part 2 of our restaurant roadmap series. And as you know, last time we were going over a couple key points about Google Places that we really wanted you to take advantage of. And I actually have Jerome Chiaro here with me today, and we're going to go over some of the key points and elaborate a little bit about what we were talking about last time and really drive your restaurant to success. So thanks for being with me today, Jerome. I really appreciate the help, and I think this is really going to provide a lot of value for our clients here.
Definitely. Hey, everyone. I'm very excited to be with you today with Joel as well. We've been working hard on this case study here, and basically we studied Ruth's Chris, which you all know is a pretty famous national steakhouse, and very successful. They're doing a lot of things right, so we're going to break it down in Ruth's Chris Google Places and show you what they're doing.
Yeah, I definitely can't think of a better start. I mean, pretty much the whole nation knows about Ruth's Chris, and I think when you think about bigger chains, and obviously they're doing something right, they're getting a lot of recognition, and they're really capitalizing on this Google Places. So let's take a look and get into a little more detail. All right, so last time, you remember, we talked about Google Places and why it's so important for your restaurant, and we really urge you to sort of go in and set that up. And if you haven't already, stop this video right now and get it done. But I'm assuming everybody did. We're really, like I said, we're really just, we're looking to get your restaurant on the map. We're really committed to your success here. So we're going to dive into the details of the Google Places and get this going for you. So what we're doing here is what we're trying to teach our clients here. The base of it is you got to get that Google Places done. Again, I know I've already said it 3 times now. Said it in the last video. This is a free service we really want you to capitalize on. So if you haven't done it already, again, stop watching this video and post it. Anyway, so now that we got that set up, we're all ready with the restaurant. We got Google Places. You're probably wondering what's next, because there's a lot of questions I had when I set mine up. And what are we going to do to get to rank 1? I mean, there's got to be 1,000 different things. I mean, I looked at it and I saw, there's all these different categories. I mean, look, we had, what was it? We have the authorities, we have the title. There's a lot of words that I've never even heard of before, basically, and I'm lost. I need help. So I want to see my restaurant at the top. I like my business here at the top. What do I got to do? So we're going to go over our roadmap, and we're going to reveal to you guys our Ruth's Chris case study. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so let's teach you a little bit about Google Places and what it's going to take to get you up there. Now, we've been reviewing the Ruth's Chris case study. Again, we chose it because it's a recognizable name. Everybody knows it. We found some really interesting stuff. Okay, so moving on to our Ruth's Chris case study, we're going to talk a little bit about what it's going to take to get you at the #1 place on Google Places. The first we want to talk about is categories. And Jerome here is more of an expert than anyone I know when it comes to each individual sections here on Google Places, because again, this is a sea of confusion when I come here and I'm logging into Google Places. I'm lost. I see Ruth's Chris, I type in Seattle Steakhouse and bam, I see Ruth's Chris pops up first. But I notice a lot of things like, okay, they're not even the most reviewed. They're not even the highest, it doesn't make any sense, why are they #1? When Metropolitan Grill has a higher Zagat rating and over 600 more reviews. I mean, how does that happen? So let's talk a little bit about step by step what this is going to take. And the first step is categories. And Jerome, what can you tell us about the categories?
Well, when you look at your, let's go into the Ruth's Chris Google Places page. So if you click on their reviews, you get this page here, which is their Google Places, which, by the way, they actually merged with Google Plus. So now you're required to submit everything through Google Plus, which is great too, because it adds a little more social aspect. But if you see here, you have a lot of information. There's a lot of different techniques you can use, but we're going to talk about most effective, and Joel said categories were the first. So if you look here, it says steakhouse and catering are the categories. So one of the reasons that they popped up as the first result when we typed in steakhouse was because that their primary category, the very first one here, says steakhouse.
Oh,
So,
I see. So if you type in catering, you might get a similar result.
Exactly.
Perhaps. Okay.
Exactly. And there's actually 5 different categories. If you look at the Google Places page, this is your setup. So when you go to Google Places and click Get Started, this is what it's going to look like. So these down here are the categories, and they let you actually add up to 5 categories, and we highly recommend adding all 5. So what Ruth's Chris did was put steakhouse here in the first one.
I see.
Right? So what they're trying to tell Google is when somebody types that word into Google, they want their restaurant to pop up there.
It's essentially like a keyword search for almost like search engine optimization, right?
Exactly. That's the technical term for it is SEO. So that was not by accident. They did their homework. They found what keyword they wanted to put there as their category, and we're going to show you how to do that in the restaurant roadmap as well too.
So this is going to be really important for me and you and all of our clients to really hone in on what their category is.
Right.
I mean,
that's the first thing I do with all my new clients for online marketing. Find out what keywords are best in their local niche.
Okay.
Which one has low competition, medium amount of traffic, and something that we can compete with.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of work in itself.
Yeah, it's a decent amount of work, but it's well worth every penny and every ounce of time you spend on it.
But like you've said before, that first spot on Google gets more clicks than, I think, what was it, 76 versus 40%, something like that?
It's a huge disparity. Yeah, they're getting a lot of traffic by being number 1 compared to Metropolitan here.
Wow. Okay. Well.
So that's the most important thing, is find out what keyword that not only describes your restaurant, but that you can compete against your competition with. And we're going to show you how to do that in the restaurant roadmap. So make sure you pick your categories wisely and use all 5 of them. So that's the most important thing. I see.
And you see the little examples that said dentist, wedding photographer, etc. Okay. Got it. Well, let's talk a little bit about citations now, because I heard of another term, and it was citations, and there's a lot more about authority. Let's talk a little bit about authority. There's something that popped up at me, and I had no idea in the beginning what it meant, or I was doing a little bit of research online, and it talks about website authority. And after doing a couple hours of research, I sort of got a general feel that, okay, basically what they want to know is how are your websites ranking depending on how much visibility you have on other people's websites, right?
Exactly. When they're talking about authority, now we're talking about, if you look at the page, what is the authority of their actual website, not their Google Places page. So how important is this website in the world? And there are some techniques. I'm actually going to go through a few with you right now, but there's some techniques you can do to increase the authority of your actual website. So that's the second most important thing we found in the case study. So if we check out Ruth's Chris, go to www.alexa.com. You can check your own restaurant's website here.
Alexa.com.
Alexa.com. We typed in Ruth's Chris, and this is all the data we're getting. So this tells you how much of an authority they are. And the lower the numbers are here, the better. Okay,
so what exactly are we looking at here? I see 94,000 in global rank, and I mean, I'm just thinking that looks like a pretty dismal number. I mean, is it?
It's actually pretty good when it comes to the world of internet.
Wow.
Google's number 1, of course. Facebook's number 2. Amazon's number 10. But
I guess there's millions.
If you're under 100,000 in the website ranking for the U.S. or even global, you're doing a really good job.
Wow.
You're pretty up there.
That's great.
Restaurants like independent restaurants that I've owned, things like that, they, we're looking at 500,000, a million.
Okay.
Result, which actually is not bad.
Well, that sure puts it into perspective then.
Yeah, but what you're really looking at here is the sites linking in. They have 2,194 sites. Now, obviously, as a smaller restaurant, you're not going to have that much in the reputation end. But if you can shoot for at least 200, that will put you above your competition, because you're not really trying to compete with Ruth's Chris. You're really trying to compete with your local competition. And we'll show you how to compete on the smaller keywords. You might not want to go after steakhouse, but we can go after something like steak catering, or something a little
more defined. Okay.
A little more defined, exactly.
So with reputation, what I'm seeing here is there are 2,194 other websites with a link to mine.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And
wow.
there are a bunch of ways to do that. Articles, blogs, just being on TripAdvisor, being on Yelp,
okay.
Being on all of those different local places as well too.
Okay, so if you I'm curious. So if you have multiple reviews on Yelp and Zagat, is that going to count one per each review, or is that just going to be two?
No, the reviews aren't actual links. That's a different issue we're going to get into.
Okay.
But being on Yelp, that's a solid link, and Yelp's an authority website, so that's going to definitely.
That's going to count as one.
Exactly.
We got a lot of work to do here.
Yeah, there's a lot of work, but we'll show you how to get it done fast. And
so what we're looking for is to get this on autopilot, obviously.
Yeah, we're looking to get it on autopilot, get it on something that you don't have to spend all of your waking hours, because that's not what we got in this business for. When I had my restaurant, the last thing I wanted to do was marketing.
Right.
So
yeah,
I was outsourced and hired all my marketing. And we're going to show you how to do that as well.
It's hard to run your website when you're thinking about, your number one Google places all day long, I'm sure. So, again, and this is what we want to help you people with. And we're so committed to helping your restaurant succeed that we want to teach you all this, but we want to show you exactly what you can do to make this easy for you. So,
right. Like we were talking about before, there's so many different things. We're talking about a lot right now, but we want to just give you the meat. We want to give you the best things. That way you don't have to do everything. That way you don't have to spend all your time on this internet stuff.
Okay, so let's move on to citations. I remember the next list here I have was mentioning citations, and again, I feel a little lost here.
Okay. So if we go, let's check out the Ruth Chris website again on Google Places. So if you scroll down to the very bottom, you're going to see reviews from around the web, TripAdvisor, Urban Spoon, Yahoo.com. So those are all citations. They're pretty similar to the links that we were just talking about.
Kind of like the authority.
But they're actually linking not to your website, but to your Google Places page.
Okay, so these are direct links just to Google.
Direct links just to Google Places.
Okay, great.
Right, and there's really easy ways to do this that we're going to show you, but you can start by simply going on TripAdvisor and creating a free account just like Google Plus. So
okay. Now, is there a minimum number of citations or authority tags? I mean, that you want
to? We'd like to see at least 10.
Okay.
We'd like to see at least 10 for our clients. And obviously, it's this whole marketing online. It's an ongoing process.
Right.
We'll add 10. This month, next month we'll add another 10. Next month we'll add another 10. Eventually,
you got to keep it going, right?
Yeah. And Google wants to see fresh content. They don't want to see, a one-time shot and you're never on the internet again. So.
Well, hey, we're all in the restaurant business here, and stale reviews are just as bad as stale food, as far as I'm concerned. So.
I agree with that.
Excellent. Okay. Well, now that we've covered a little bit of citations, let's move on to title tags and talk a little bit about what those are.
Title tags is very important. It's actually something you can do in less than 5 minutes on your own website if you have access to that. But if you look at Ruth Chris' actual website again, let's go to their website. So their title tag comes up at the very top. I actually can't see it here. But if
I don't
you
see
go
it.
to Google, let's show you here on Google. So right here, Seattle, Washington Steakhouse. This is a tag on their actual website.
Okay, so that's what you read at the top, the very top of your monitor, with the little Firefox or the Google Chrome logo scrolling across the top. Oh, okay.
That's what you read there. That's what you read when you see any of these. These are all title tags.
Okay.
And it's basically something that you can go into your own website and edit yourself. Google has no control over it. You have all the control over that.
Wow, that's rare.
So they encourage you to actually go and edit that. So watch what Ruth Chris did. They put the words steakhouse in their title tag.
You notice that Ruth's Chris doesn't even pop up there fully. It says Seattle, Washington Steakhouse.
Right. They get into it later, but exactly. they wanted those words to be first, and they're very smart for doing that. That's probably that might be the reason they have the top rank there. Actually, was just for that alone. So you can actually go to your own website and edit that title tag to include whatever keyword you want to.
So title tags, use your best keywords in your title tag.
Exactly.
Without being obnoxious, obviously.
Right, I would just use one. Use your best one time.
Okay, and, so it's not going to be catering, Seattle, Washington, steakhouse.
Right.
With a whole bunch of other... okay, got it. It needs to make a little bit of sense, obviously. So now that we understand title tags a little bit better, let's talk about the reviews on Google Places and what that means for our placement.
Right. In our case study, reviews came out to be number 5.
Wow.
Which is great, but it's actually I'm expecting it to move up towards 3, 2, or even 1 soon. Google is putting more and more weight on reviews every week, and with every update, they're putting more weight on it. So you can see all the reviews. They're getting reviews from Zagat. They're getting reviews from TripAdvisor, Urban Spoon, Yahoo. So your goal is to get, we found that if you get 5 or more reviews,
5,
you get a big boost in rank.
What's the deal with 5? I mean, why not 4?
Well, there have been studies that have been done on all of this statistics here. And from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 4 to 5, you see a huge boost. And then from 5 to 200, you don't see that big of an improvement. So that's why.
So wait a minute. You're telling me if I have 6 reviews or 5, it's going to be about the same as if I have 3 or 400 reviews?
Not 3 or 400, but probably about 200.
No kidding.
It's really, really small on the scale there. So
5 is like an easy base number for almost anybody can accomplish that right off the bat and get a quick hit.
The goal is to get to 5 as quickly as possible. So you can ask friends, family, regulars, just bring them your laptop and have them do some reviews real quick. That will get you a huge boost over your competitors.
What's to stop me as an owner to log in and do my own reviews?
Yeah, that's a slippery slope. You really don't want to do that because Google can track, it's called your IP address. They can track your computer and see that you're doing that. So definitely don't do any fake reviews. Don't do any reviews yourself. They know. They know. They have pretty complex tracking mechanisms on that.
Google is very smart.
Yeah, they are. They know what they're doing.
They know your writing style, so don't try it.
So what we do for our clients, we get 5 Google reviews, and then we'll go to these other ones and get 5 from Yahoo, 5 from Urban Spoon, 5 from TripAdvisor, kind of round out the portfolio. That's the best method to go. So definitely start there.
So 5 is the magic number. Remember that. Remember 5 reviews. You don't need to do more work than you need to or stress yourself out trying to get a whole bunch thinking that that's going to help you. I mean, obviously, it's not going to be until you're way up there.
Exactly. It helps, but it's a long-term process after that. I see.
Okay. All right. Well, then, excuse me. Another thing I noticed, too, when I was filling this Google Places site out was that my area code had a huge impact on where I was placed on the website for Google Places. What can you tell us about the importance of the area code for your restaurant?
The area code, it's a simple thing, but a lot of people overlook it. If you have the wrong area code or even a 1-800 number, which a lot of catering places might have, it negatively affects your Google rank. So you want to make sure you have your local area code because a lot of the ranking is based upon location, obviously, and they want to make sure that you're in the right area code. So just double check on that. That's a quick, easy one, but we wanted to mention it just because it's very important.
I was using a Google Voice number for mine, and I chose a different area code, and so you're telling me that might have had an effect? Oh, wow.
Yeah, you want to use your... Google Voice is great for tracking, but you want to use your actual local number.
Good to know. Good to know. Okay, and what about owner verification or being owner verified? What does that mean to Google Places?
That was the final thing that we found on our report, and... it's a very simple process. We'll edit that out.
Anyway, okay, let's start up. So what can you tell us? Okay. Anyway. Okay, another thing I noticed about filling this out was I came across the owner verified or owner verification. What can you tell us about owner verification and how that relates to Google Places?
Right. Even just claiming your page will give you some authority from Google. But if you actually go in and owner verify it, it's called, that gives you a big boost in your ranking. And a lot of business owners and restaurant owners forget to do that. So I'm going to show you real quick how to do that. And they basically just send a PIN number by mail to your restaurant address. They just want to see that you're a real restaurant, because
it's like email confirmation.
It's like email confirmation. It's like mail confirmation.
You sign up for anything, you got to get that email and you respond, click the link or whatever, something like that.
Exactly.
Okay.
And what they're really trying to do, anyone can basically put up a Google Places page. They want to make sure that this is a real restaurant.
Well, that sounds like a really easy step.
It is. I'll show you real quick. Actually, if you click on manage this page when you're in your own Google Places page, this will pop up here, and it says add, edit, suspend listing, validate your listing. So it says we'll send a letter containing a PIN and activation instructions to the business address. So you click on manage, then you click on continue, and edit business information, continue, and then enter the PIN number that Google sends you.
I see. So is this telling me that I can suspend the listing for Baja Fresh? Because I tell you what, if I can suspend Bob's Restaurant next door, I think I might have a better
No,
chance.
you can't. This is actually just they verify your login information.
Oh,
so.
bummer. Well, I tried. Well, let's talk then. Since that's a pretty easy step, we don't need to get into too much detail, I guess. But
yeah,
let's.
That's it. It's pretty simple.
Well, I know there is. What else was I thinking about? It was domain citations.
Yes. I don't want to go into that one. It's
Can't you just like real quick or not even?
No, I don't want to go. It's too
All
much.
right, we'll just wrap it up then. Anyway, okay. Well, thank you for explaining all that. Oh, actually, hold on. Give me. So that's gonna be so good, dude. Anyway. Now that we've covered authority, citations, we've covered the title tags, we've talked a little bit about the importance of Google Place reviews, the importance of having the proper area code, and making sure that you're verified as the actual owner. I think that about sums up basically the most easy, important initial steps of placing on Google Places. What do you say?
Definitely, I think that about sums up the Ruth Chris case study. So
wow.
Definitely, I mean, categories number one. Work on your categories, work on your keywords. We're going to show you some more videos on keyword research and how to do that.
Basically, if you apply the tips to the restaurant's Google Places page that we're revealing here, you're going to see an amazing boost in the ranks. And that's exactly what we keep saying is we really want to get your restaurant to the top. And we're going to stop at nothing to ensure your success here. So we got some important videos coming up. We definitely are going to continue this series and elaborate more and more. But we don't want to overwhelm you. I know when I was looking through this, I was just, I don't know about you, Jerome, but I was completely overwhelmed. It's a very deep rabbit hole. So.
Yeah, the online marketing world is, especially for restaurants, can be pretty deep. There's a lot of people out there teaching different philosophies. What's Google Penguin? What's Google Panda? What's Google Venice? It's never ending and it's constantly updating. So
I'm a big fan of petting zoos too, so I feel like I can relate. So anyways, let's talk about how we can pick the most profitable keywords for your location. Now, there's a couple questions that I had when I was setting this up, and obviously everybody knows that customer feedback is important. And if you can get testimonials, that's going to be the most valuable thing. And we've all heard of Yelp, and we've all heard of Zagat, and most recently Zagat was actually purchased by Google. So you're going to be seeing a lot more of that popping up for your restaurant, whether you realize it or not. It's going to probably pop up right off the bat. So.
Yeah, the important thing to know about reviews is, well, they're becoming more and more important for your ranking for your restaurant.
Yeah.
So if you don't have reviews, it definitely hurts you. A lot of restaurateurs are scared. Yelp's scary. There's a lot of people that go out there and just write really bad reviews. Don't know anything about restaurants.
Right, yeah. I had a situation where the ketchup took about 10 minutes to come out, and man, you see a 1-star review with something like that, and you just have to think, did their ranking fall just because the ketchup came out too late? I mean, seriously?
Yeah, it happens all the time. So basically, it's coming to a point where you don't really worry about what kind of score you're getting. As long as you're over 2 stars, you're doing fine. And it's going to help your ranking. The important thing is people find your restaurant on Google. So they're not ranking anything by the number of stars you're getting or anything like that. So those are just for your customers and people looking at your restaurant. And honestly, people know that now. They know that they can't rely 100% on every person's review,
Right.
and people get upset. So
Everything with a grain of salt, right? So how do we get people, and how do we get your customers and your clients to write reviews? And even more, how do we get that to happen on autopilot? All I got to say is stay tuned. We have a lot to offer. We have a lot we want to teach you. Again, we're not going to overwhelm you all at once here, but we're going to be doing the next we got another video coming up. It's going to be a really, really cool FAQ where we're going to handle all your burning questions with our fireside FAQ chat. So stay tuned. Post any comments or questions you have. We'll definitely be checking them out. We seriously value any input we can get. And we just want to know how we can serve you better. So anything that you guys need, anything that you think that we might be able to elaborate on a little bit, just give us a shout. We'll definitely be addressing everything on an individual basis, and thank you guys so much. We really appreciate your time, and that's it. So hope you enjoyed this quick video. We really hope that this is helping you guys out. I mean, it's really exciting that, we got Jerome here, and it's been an amazing help for me, and I know that I've just been learning a ton. But again, although overwhelming, it's really exciting to come out here and see what we can do to make this work. So, I mean, I don't know if it's exciting for you, but it's just, I'm overwhelmed. That's a lot of fun. So hope you guys are sharing my enthusiasm here, and thanks, Jerome. I really appreciate it.